Okay, now we wrap up this unit with a fairly complex query. It's got a join with 5 tables in it, and we're calculating several different statistics out of it. Let's run this thing and take a look at what we got here. Right off the bat, we have semester up here, so semester, and then we're bringing out the student's last name and first name, the number of classes that the student took in that semester. So that's the count as classes taken. You can see most of these people had 1 class, but this person had 3. Here's the sum of credit hours, which is coming out of the course table. And we see this person took 9 credit hours, 3 and 4, and so on. And then finally, we took the average registration grade, the grade out of the registration table, and by taking the average, we get the student's GPA in that semester. So now, a couple things to look at here. When I scroll down, we're seeing all the spring of 16, and then when we get a little farther along, we get to the fall of 16 semester. That's because I'm ordering by semester ID and then by last name of the student. And if we look at the semester table here, I did a select star from semester over here. ID number 1 is spring of 16 and 2 is fall of 16. So this is fairly complex, and part of the way that you sort of build a query like this is saying, well, I need, what do I need in my output? Well, I need semester. That's going to have to come from the semester table. Last name from student, first name from student. Classes taken is just the count of the sections that the student registered for. Let's take a look at the ER diagram, make it a little bit easier here. So we start at student, go to registration, then we hop over to section. This is where we're counting the number of courses, how many sections the person took. Then we go over to course to get the number of credit hours out of the course. And up here in semester, we pick up the name. So we've got these 5 tables are all being joined in here. And you can just see them in a rather long series of joins to bring in all of those tables. And when we do, we can pick this kind of information where we're getting actual values, like, let me run it again because I changed this order. Actual values like the name of the semester and the name of the student, and then some summary values like the count and the sum, and then finally the average to pick up the GPA. Now suppose we wanted to do some filtering. Suppose we wanted to show just semester number 2, for example. That's that would be fall, and its ID is 2. So let's write a where clause here just before the group by that says where semester dot ID equals 2. Now we're going to do the filtering and show only the fall semester. Let's run it. So now we've excluded semester number 1, which is the spring semester, and we've got just the fall semester of 2016 coming up, and there's no other records. So we were able to filter and kick out semesters. Suppose we also want to do a filter on GPA. Suppose we wanted to see the students with a GPA of greater than 3.5. So let's, I'm going to copy and paste this in so that you don't have to watch me type this, but I can do this. I can say having average registration.grade above 3.5. And when I do that, I'm going to get people that are getting high grades only on the dean's list. So now I have fall of 16 and people only with high GPAs above 3.5. So I can use a fairly complex set of joins, a couple of different statistics, count, sum, and average, together with actual values like semester name and first and last name and so on. Join a bunch of tables together, and then do some filtering both on individual records and filtering on statistics, like filtering on the average. It's sort of like Legos. You snap all this stuff together. The best way to write a complex statement like this is to get your join working first. So I would start with just semester name, person name, and then I would start joining and writing the from clauses down here with all the joins. Then I would come along, once I've got that working, add my statistics, the counts, the sums, and so on, throw in my group by. And once I had that working, then I would start add the where clause and the having to start filtering records, so I get fewer records in the results set. And of course, someplace along the way you throw in the order by. So the best way of doing this thing is write a little bit that you know how to do in simple, get it working, and then start adding the complexity to it. If you sat down, and I would never do this, if you sat down and tried to write this whole SQL statement out from scratch, you're going to spend a lot of time fixing errors because you missed a comma here and a quote there and that kind of thing. So start simple, build out. As each step you take, make sure what you've got is working before you add the next part.